Of the Lake County Board of Commissioners, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, please bless our meeting today. May our discussions be fruitful, our decisions wise, and our community strong. Amen. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bregovich.
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here.
Commissioner Klechnik.
Present. We will begin public comment today with a special recognition. Gary Fedak of the Lake County Department of Utilities has to recognize a 25-year employee, James Adams. So, Mr. Fedak, if you could come forward.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'll try not to be too redundant. Obviously, we want to take a moment to recognize one of our longer tenured employees. As you mentioned, is 25 years with the department. He's also in the wastewater department. He's with us today, and as you said, Jim Adams, to introduce him. Jim started his career with the Lake County Department of Utilities in October 25th, 1999. He started out as a maintenance operator that covered both of our districts, both the Madison Wastewater Treatment Plant District and the Mentor District, otherwise known as GLK or Gary L. Crone facility. During his career, Jim's been able to advance his credentials and obtain two separate specific professional licenses. He has a Class 1 license in wastewater and also a Class 2, so that's very commendable during his career. Jim has an immense valuable knowledge in terms of the systems. He's provided great leadership to us over the years, and he certainly knows a lot about maintenance of the system before it becomes to any of the treatment plants. As a result of all those accolades, he was promoted to supervisor in 2019. So I wanted to say, Jim, just specifically on behalf of the department, thank you for your contributions. Look, you've been a dedicated employee for a long time. You've contributed to the foundation of our organization, and that means a lot to us from a utility perspective. We wanted to present you with this watch for your 25 years and say thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
Is there anything you want to add?
No, it's all good. Thank you guys very much.
Well, we're not letting you go that easily. The commissioners also want to express our sincere gratitude for your quarter century of service. As we get ready to celebrate America's 250th birthday, I'm reminded that 10% of that time you've been working for Lake County. And that's something to think about. That's a lot of years of public service. We take for granted that when we turn the faucet, the water comes out the other end. But I remember the boiler alert of Thanksgiving, where we didn't have necessarily water, and we had a utilities department that had to fight really hard to quickly get messaging out to the public, let them know what water was safe, what water needed to be boiled, and it didn't matter, it was a holiday, y'all got it done. And you always do. That's why we take it for granted, because we have the best Department of Utilities in Ohio, and Jim, you're a huge part of that, which is why we couldn't let this anniversary go without thanking you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
So if you would come forward, we have one last gift for you. Congratulations. With that, we will return to ordinary public comment. Any member of the public wishing to address the Board of Commissioners, please come forward, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Anyone for public portion this morning? See the first hand up there, Linda, I think?
You're well on your way.
Yeah.
Linda O'Brien, 5842 Tanager Court, Mentor. Commissioners, as you know, I am the founder and director of Liberty Camp USA, and we have been having camp here in Lake County for 4 years now. This year alone, we had 94 here in Lake County. 80 of those were children entering 2nd grade through 7th, and 14 were teenagers who come dressed in costume and help our reenactors. Because we are a nonprofit and our camp is very meager in terms of what we cost per applicant, because we want everybody to be able to afford it. We always are looking for outside support. And there is a grant now available through the America 250 program that is all about the founding days of America. And it's looking for people who do storytelling and education. That encapsulates Liberty Camp USA. I am requesting, per their requirement, a letter from my commissioners that show your support for this camp. It's a requirement of the grant, and I will be applying for that. It's a $5,000 grant, and that will help us a lot. It's amazing how we can wear out britches and dust ruffles. So anything that you could do along those lines, I would really appreciate it. I'll leave you a business card for information. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else for public portion today? Bishop.
Gerard Mabel, 1049 Brentwood Drive. If I can help somebody as I travel along the way, my living will not be in vain. This is for you, Commissioner Richard Wigovich, Commissioner John T. Plechnik, President John Amechek, for working and helping our community, for what you do for this community. I know, because I've been here since I was 31 years old. There were so many others that he might have chosen. Others with learning and greater distinction, men with ability and much more authority. Somehow, the great architect of the universe bestowed upon me to come to this great land, to see every 4 years great things that are happening in this land. It has to be God. It only can be God, because there are so many other countries that are trying to accomplish this. They can't. I know they can't. I know they can't. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful to see this. I'd like also to thank the 1,194 law enforcement police department chaplain that come together this year to pray for the election. Chaplain for the FBI, the CIA, Secret Service, in disguise, that people don't know who they are. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for Lake County Sheriff Department, for a great sheriff that we have, great police department that we have, great community that we have. I work all the 88 counties, but I thank the Almighty God for our community, for Lake County, for all of our leaders, for all of you. Blessing. I also thank the American people that vote, that go out and vote and keep making this country better and better. Blessing.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion this morning?
Good morning. Chris Bahari, 185 West Jackson Street. Really so grateful and really understanding that our election went so well yesterday. It's been 32 years since I've been working with the election board, and we had such a a very good response here in Lake County. And I would like to thank all the voters who came out and voted and expressed their opinion. And just like in the Bible, it says that there's a left side and a right side, and that like Cain and Abel, but they could not unite in the beginning. But if we unite and become one, we can become one of heart of family. So I would like to have a moment of silence so that we can understand the meaning of unity, the meaning of cooperation. We have different opinions, and we can share those opinions, and that is the way we are here in America. And God has so blessed all of America for that. And thank you, and let us have a moment of silence and gratitude. Thank you. And I
Thank you.
didn't bring my chimes to.
Well, we got a bigger one.
That's true.
We dare you.
Oh.
Double dog dare you.
Oh, goodness.
Anyone else for public portion?
Bernadette Blumel, 2300 River Road. I would like to thank you all, first of all, for being here, because you all have a bigger job than I ever dream of doing. But I do have some questions in regards to the commissioners, and unfortunately, some of them are directed to Mr. Plechnik. In regards to the press release about your ethics, I remember hearing that it was on commissioner letterhead and your campaign letterhead. However, I have an affidavit here that does not mention the commissioner letterhead, and I'd like to know why, if that's possible. And if an affidavit is supposed to be the whole truth, why was it left out of that affidavit? And if you can answer that, and also maybe somebody with a law office, prosecutor maybe as well, I would like to know why that was omitted. That was the first thing. The second thing is on your settlement agreement. It states that all of your personal items regarding the campaign cannot be in your office. Have you, in fact, removed all of that information and campaign material from your office? Also, the last two is actually for all the commissioners. If you have insight, I would love to learn. I noticed that $30,000 was put aside or talked about for dog licenses and dog park. As a dog owner myself, that seems a little excessive, and I'd like to know why $30,000 was dog-eared for that. When there are other areas, I think that that money could be used within Lake County. And the last one was the $750,000 over a 4-year window for promotional mailings. The only thing I remember seeing is a magnet with some sports schedules on it. And again, I mean, $750,000 seems very excessive and like a lot of money for promotional mailings that I don't remember seeing. And that's everything. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion today?
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive, just an average citizen. I would like to first give a huge shout out to Dante Lewis and the entire Board of Elections team, staff, and all of the hundreds of citizens in Lake County that are working the polls. They did a fantastic job, and I understand we had like 77% of registered voters coming out. So again, a huge shout out. They do a great job each and every election. I'd also like to very quickly thank Commissioner Plechnik for your resolution that you submitted, and I asked the other two commissioners to perhaps take a look at that resolution if you deem it appropriate or think that you need to make changes. I'd like to see the commission, all of the commissioners, at least weigh in whether they agree or not. The other item are two items that are on the agenda today. The first one is a resolution executing an agreement with the professional service industries for consulting professional fees for the Public Safety Center. I understand that there's a committee that had to be formed, but has not been formed yet. So I'm just wondering if this resolution is a little ahead of the game. Is the committee supposed to be formed before any decisions are made on the public safety or the jail? Again, it's just a question. I really don't know. And the last item is the resolution where we're giving Chester Township a 360-degree Faro scanner. I would assume that's from the crime lab, and I'm just wondering if the crime lab is replacing that with updated equipment. And the other question I'd really like to have resolved, I keep getting I guess they're rumors in the community, and I'd like to squelch those rumors that the crime lab actually sends investigators out to the crime scene. And because I thought that was the role of the crime lab, but if it's not done, are we relying on local police departments to do the crime scene investigation? And if that's the case, would this scanner that we're giving to Chester Township, would that be better served by giving it to someone in Lake County? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Donna McNamee, 5025 Willowcroft Road, Willoughby, Ohio. Respectfully, I'm here today due to my growing concern about statements made during some of your meetings regarding the Lake Trent sales tax levy. The fact of the matter is this. At the January 2024 meeting, a majority of Lake Trent's Board of Trustees voted to pause our 1% levy, most recently passed by voters in 2019. I am concerned because here it has been publicly stated Lake Trent, the rescinding of the levy was permanent. Respectfully, that statement is not correct. It was and is Lake Trent's intention to resume its collection. The full amount of this sales tax levy, 1/4%, which amounts to 25 cents on every $100 of taxable goods and services sold in Lake County. It is imperative to keep Lake Trent's buses on the road. Since 1988, Lake Trent's levy has been overwhelmingly and repeatedly approved by Lake County voters who want and need Lake Trent services to help seniors, people with disabilities, students, and the general public get to work, school, healthcare, shopping, and recreational opportunities. Without the revenue generated by the sales tax, Lake Trent would be unable to provide the numerous transit improvements the voters asked for and approved for that 2019 levy. We all must be careful not to confuse the public into thinking we have stopped Lake Trent's funding. It is Lake Trent's intention to continue the vital service the voters and riders have repeatedly asked for and daily depend upon. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Anyone else for public portion? Anyone else for public portion? Going once and back.
ahead, sir.
Chris Weiss, Leroy. So the lady in the Alabama shirt and Brian Massey kind of stole a little bit of my thunder because I was going to talk about the very same things. But to add to what they just said, yeah, I would like to know why we're giving away a scanner that belongs to the crime lab to Chester Township and declaring it as obsolete and no longer needed. Didn't Jeff Sherwood, the former chief deputy of the Lake County Sheriff's Department, isn't he the guy in Chester Township now? Is that why we're giving it away? Because he asked for it? I'd really like to hear some vigorous discussion when you guys get to this resolution item so the public can understand what's the status of that piece of equipment, what's going on in the crime lab, okay? Why aren't they sending people out? Okay, we're supposed to have the world's state-of-the-art crime lab. We got people that work there that write books, that travel internationally on behalf of criminal investigations, okay? Seems like we got a really great asset there. We don't have to rely on the FBI in certain instances to do our investigating for us. So I'm curious to know what's going on with that. A little bit more detail than just what's happening with the scanner, by the way. I'd appreciate that you guys could inform us and enlighten us a bit about that, okay? And to what the lady in the Alabama shirt, who I don't know, by the way, said, I think part of the answer, Boss Pleshnik, on that press release, isn't it, that you got slapped down by the other two commissioners at the time for trying to put that on company or county letterhead? And doesn't it actually link you to your ethics violation and show that your work product from when you took that ethics course, that doctoral level ethics course that was supposed to teach you how to do the right thing, how that work product ties into public records? I'd really like to hear about that. You seem to want to send people like Heberbrand and Kakowski back here up to demand questions answered of Commissioner Hamerchak. Well, how about you answer a few questions? How about you come clean on that? I know you're dying to. By the way, it's now November, isn't it? Didn't that statute pass? So now aren't you in the free and the clear to brag about what you've done? Why don't you enlighten us with some of that? You seem to be so vociferous about other things. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Brian Kulkowski, Leroy Township. First, I want to express my personal gratitude that President Trump was elected and that our new Senator Bernie Moreno will be representing us. I'm here again to speak about a hacking incident of the Lake County computer servers on election night in May of 2021. The Lake County prosecutor on September 8, 2021 filed a motion, which was granted in the Lake County Common Pleas Court, to have the state attorney general investigate any possible crimes committed under Ohio law as a result of this hacking. In the public records request that I've received public records from the state attorney general, it appears to show no actual independent investigation was performed. As such, I respectfully request that the Lake County prosecutor contact the state attorney general's office and request a copy of all records of any investigation performed by the attorney general's special investigations branch to determine whether my conclusion last week was correct, that the attorney general failed to perform their own independent investigation into this matter. This is particularly important given that new information has been unearthed with respect to this matter in the past 2 months, and given third parties continue to make public claims to purported actions taken with respect to the Lake County's computer systems of a serious nature. Commissioner Hamerchak promised an explanation almost 3 years ago. Instead, he appears to have his good family friend, Mr. Weiss, continue to come into these meetings to disparage Commissioner Pleshnik as a smokescreen. If this is not the case, Mr. Hamerchak should publicly denounce Mr. Weiss and further call on the Lake County prosecutor himself to ensure that an independent investigation was or is actually performed by local or state officials going forward to guarantee that such investigation is transparent to all citizens of Lake County. I would also like to thank Auditor Galloway for committing to the commissioners that he will be working with his employees to document the timeline and evidence related to this matter. We as Republicans need to ensure that we are transparent with regard to alleged incidents such as these, and that we are appropriately dealing with our own Republican elected officials if there are actual issues. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion? Anyone else? Then we'll close public portion, but before we jump into resolutions, I want to invite the CEO of the Lake County Council on Aging to say a few words about his organization's work with the senior levy in Lake County.
Thank you so very much, Commissioners, and we want to thank you all for recognizing several Lake County individuals here recently, just a couple weeks ago, as the Council on Aging held its annual awards and annual meeting. The Senior Citizens Hall of Fame Award was presented to one of our volunteers, a 99-year-old volunteer, Mike Bonelli, who was recognized for his work with the Council on Aging out at the Painesville Nutrition Site. Michael said, "You're never too old to become a volunteer." He started at the age of 93, so continues to this day, and a wonderful person. Helping Hands Awards presented to Nancy Brunner Sandin, who readily steps in to cover any of the 13 routes out of the Mentor Nutrition Site. Excuse me, often at the last minute. The SMPJ Farm Board for its active contributions to our community in the Kirtland, Ohio area. For engaging seniors in worthwhile projects, mostly as volunteers. The Rotary Club of Mentor, which has supported numerous Lake County organizations and several initiatives from the Council on Aging. The Meals on Wheels volunteers from NPAC LLC, who for over 9 years have dedicated thousands of hours to delivering meals. And finally, Sarah Grenier, who is a social worker and does outstanding work with the Lake County Adult Protective Services. She was also recognized. Finally, Commissioners, the highlight of the afternoon was a presentation of the prestigious Ruth Densmore Award, which was presented to Donna P. McNamee, who is here. And Donna, congratulations once again for your recognition of this very special award. This wasn't planned. I didn't know Donna would be here today, but she was recognized for her lifelong commitment advocating for seniors and individuals with disabilities. The reason, however, that I am truly here every fall from the middle of October to December 7th, our Resource Center manager, Jackie, along with the benefits specialist and 5 volunteers who are trained through the state of Ohio, are available to meet with Lake County seniors to review their Medicare prescription drug plans. This is open enrollment time, Medicare Advantage plans as well. Very important. So I know all of you are way too young to know this, but the world of Medicare can be very complex and confusing. Ask any senior. So the Council on Aging is here to help, and we offer free one-on-one counseling, and I'm here to remind seniors that both prescription drug plans and Advantage plans can change from year to year, and it's really important for a senior to review their plan, whether they're going to try and review it on their own or come to the Council on Aging. We'll sit down with them and help them both to meet their needs, both financially and, of course, medically going into 25. So I'd like to emphasize that the information that we provide is free and it's unbiased, of course. So we're not pushing any specific companies, any specific plans. In 2023, Commissioners, the Council on Aging saved Lake County seniors over $19,000 in Medicare expenses by reviewing those plans and then helping them make the changes and get them onto a plan that's going to save seniors some dollars. So appointments are filling up fast. I'm here to encourage seniors before they're all gone to call the main office as soon as possible. Our receptionist is probably going to clobber me when she hears this on the because those phones are going to be ringing. I know that, but please do schedule an appointment before the end of November. This will end on December 7th. So thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Tomsick.
Mr. President, I'd like to say a senior reached out to me about Medicare and their Plan C, if I got this right. So I called Joey right away, and he took care that person, they get bombarded this time of year with open enrollment, with all these, literature, phone calls, things like that, and they don't know what's real, what's a scam, and that's, I think, something we get teach. So I think there's 3 already planned talks about this. I'm going to go myself because I'll probably have to deal with my own mother someday, and it's complicated. It's not an easy thing, and you don't know until you get into it. So I want to thank Joey for providing that service.
Thank you. With that, we will continue to resolutions. Madam Clerk.
In special resolutions, resolution proclaiming November 2024 National Adoption Awareness Month in Lake County, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have with us, of course, our Director of Lake County Job and Family Services, Suzanne Kasar, as well as Jean Tetrick of the department. Also in attendance is Judge Mark Bartolotta, who works very closely with Job and Family Services. And I'd like to invite Suzanne and Jean to talk about National Adoption Awareness Month in Lake County.
Thank you, Commissioner. As the commissioners are aware, the Department of Job and Family Services typically has over 100 children in agency custody each year due to concerns regarding child abuse, neglect, or dependency. And our staff works very hard to reunify those children with their biological family members. In the event that those children cannot be reunified and the Department of Job and Family Services is awarded permanent custody of those children, the department is tasked with finding adoptive homes for those children. So this being National Adoption Month, it is important to highlight the incredibly important work that our adoptive parents do in Lake County to provide children with safe, loving, lifelong families. We are very grateful that Judge Bartolotta is also here today to show his support for the department. We work closely with Judge Bartolotta not only with our adult protective services cases, but also with our adoptions and finalizing adoptions. The department was lucky enough to be at probate court yesterday. Judge Bartolotta and his staff held a very special adoption day ceremony for a family that was actually adopting a child yesterday. So we appreciate Judge Bartolotta also being here. We appreciate the commissioners taking the time to recognize the important role that adoptive parents play in our community. And I believe Jean would like to also say a couple words about our adoptive families, if he may.
Please do.
Well, Suzanne said many of the things I was going to say, but good morning, commissioners. How is everybody today? We are here to celebrate our adoption families. We did have a very great day yesterday, so I guess I would like to start off with saying that, we at Lake County Department of Job and Family Services really couldn't do and get the word out about foster care and adoption so much without the gracious support of the commissioners and also Judge B and his staff, who are always so very gracious and helpful for us and really do take the time out of their schedules to help our adoptive families through that last process of finalizing adoptions. Many of our foster parents are also duly licensed as adoption parents. So, in the unfortunate event that the kiddos in our care can't return home, we have our adoptive families who are willing to step up and bring them into their homes and make them permanent members of their family. It's, not always easy. Parenting is not always easy as a whole. And so I just want to take the minute to just really, applaud and thank all of the hardworking foster and adoptive parents out there, especially the adoptive parents who make those transitions this month. It's hard, but it's always very well worth it. Thank you.
And thank you for all the hard work that you and Suzanne and your colleagues do along with Judge Bartolotta and his court. With that, I think we should make it official, ladies and gentlemen.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes, and I would invite all of you involved to join us for a receipt of the proclamation, National Adoption Awareness Month in Lake County, Ohio. Madam Clerk, resume.
Resolution in support of Operation Greenlight for Veterans in Lake County, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second.
I do believe that we have our Lake County Recorder in attendance today. This being her initiative, I would invite Recorder Lynch to join us with a congratulation on her reelection.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for this resolution for our veterans. It's our third year to do it. A big special thank you to Jen, who has once again helped us get the Lake County courthouse clock lit green, plus the Cleveland Terminal Tower is green again this year too. So this is to bring awareness to our veteran services. John Wormley, as you know, is our Veteran Service Director, and I am sitting on the National Association of Counties Military and Services Committee, which is that's a big committee. We do this every year, and I'm the representative for us to do that here in Lake County. So very much appreciate you guys doing this for me, very much. Thank you.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate Jen Bell, our clerk, for working so hard to light up Lake County and all of Northeast Ohio green for our veterans.
Yes. Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much.
Shall we make it official?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes, and you're not going anywhere, Madam Recorder.
Jen, come on, Jen. It's my pleasure. Come on, Jen. Come on, Jen. I know. I'm the plant. Come on. All right, here's how you do.
Yeah, this is great.
Thank you, honey. Thank you, Commissioner.
Madam Recorder?
I did it.
While we're still in special resolutions, although there is no need for a vote, I do want to point out for all you watching from home and those with us today that there's a rather large item obstructing our line of view today. You might notice the Liberty Bell of Lake County. It has been with us for a very long time, but recently reframed in celebration of the 250th or semi-quincentennial celebration of America coming up in 2026. And I'd like to invite our Director of Telecom forward, Paul Stefanko, to give us some history on the bell and his department's hard work in reframing it to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States. Mr. Stefanko, the floor is yours.
And just for the record, that's our second favorite bell in the room besides Jen.
Hey, Jen, that's still going to go on the front page top fold. So.
Commissioners, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to restore this bell for Lake County. When Commissioner Hammercheck first contacted me, I wasn't sure what to expect, but when I saw the bell, I realized that the restoration needed to be done well and needed to last several lifetimes in order to do justice to this fine symbol of our freedom. In the telecom department, we have several technicians that have talents beyond electronics. As the director, I try to use these skills to benefit Lake County. From countertops to podiums like this one that we built, and now Freedom Bells, we do our best to spend our spare time using the talents that we don't normally use to benefit Lake County. The bell, as you know, was already cast in 2002 in Lake County, and our task was to construct a yoke and a stand. We felt it appropriate that the bell would be supported by the same type of wood that the Liberty Bell in Washington was made of. So this yoke and the base is actually elm. It's not oak or maple. We found that in an Amish sawmill in Middlefield. So we picked that up, brought it back. We engraved it, glued it, welded it, and clamped the yoke together. The bell itself weighs nearly 300 pounds, and the elm wood is not as strong as oak or maple. So we embedded a steel plate inside the yoke, and this is actually what's supporting the bell. The elm wood is actually cosmetic to the function of the bell. The base is constructed of 1/4 inch thick steel tubing, and we lowered the bell about 14 inches from the previous stand to give it more stability. The previous stand was very top heavy and very tipsy. This bell can be transported without tipping over, unless you want to tip it over. We fastened the wheels to the base, but increased the width to further stabilize the bell. The deck below the bell is made of the same wood as the yoke, again recognizing the Liberty Bell and its symbol to our freedom. We trust that this bell will be displayed for the people of this great county and maintained for generations to come. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Respectfully, the Telecommunications Department. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you to your whole department. Any discussion?
Yeah, it looks wonderful. It came out way beyond my dreams. So.
Well, it took a little while, but like I said, we did it in our spare time. It's not like we do it every day. And whenever we had some time, we did a little bit more and a little bit more, and it came together, and yeah, worked out well. Thank you.
It was displayed nicely.
If I could just add, well done. Craftsmanship is synonymous with the Telecommunications Department. You have a good crew, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Then I think it's time for Mr. Stefanko to do the honors and
Oh,
ring
boy.
the Liberty Bell of Lake County.
I must caution you, this bell is loud. If you pull that very hard, you'll deafen some people. So I'll ring it one time for you. Notice I'm not doing this very hard.
The America 250 Committee will be working with every community, every organization in Lake County to help celebrate between now and 1776's 250th anniversary in 2026. So stay tuned because there's so much celebration to come. With that, back to resolutions.
In the engineer's office, resolution authorizing the Lake County engineer to prepare and submit an application to the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or Local Transportation Improvement Program, and to execute an OPWC agreement for the Lake County intersection realignment project in Painesville Township and Concord Township.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution certifying unpaid water and sewer sums and administrative charges to the Lake County Auditor.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing the President of the Lake County Board of Commissioners to execute a services agreement on behalf of the Lake County Common Pleas Court Juvenile Division with the Ashtabula County Board of Commissioners.
Move to approve.
Second.
I do believe that Judge DeLeon is with us today and would like to say a few words on this historic partnership.
Thank you, Commissioner. I wanted to thank each of the commissioners. This is an historic day. I know you've been receiving this idea with open arms. There's been a lot of work. I wanted to thank my staff, two of whom are here, Anthony Goff and Chris Cohen, who've put in countless hours on this. I have been blessed with a wonderful staff at the juvenile court, and they work hard to make things like this happen. I also want to thank the prosecutor's office, including Mr. Colson, Mr. Hackman, Ms. Germano, and Ms. Eccles, not only for this project, but the various projects. That is a very hard-working division within Mr. Colson's office, and they do outstanding work. Finally, I wanted to thank Ashtabula County. I approached this board with the idea to partner with both Geauga and Ashtabula County to open our juvenile facility to both counties we're charging less than what they were being charged at other counties to house their kids. And I believe with our ICR program, which is unique to Lake County, and there's a step in between DYS and regular detention, which involves intensive therapy, that we can provide, that this will be a benefit to all three of our communities that face similar issues. So I wanted to thank you for this resolution on this contract, because this is a great day for our county and it will help address the needs of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of an agreement with Professional Service Industries Incorporated for consulting professional services for testing and inspection services for the proposed Lake County Public Safety Center project in the amount of $163,340.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution reappointing Kenneth R. Gauntner to the Lake County Law Library Resources Board for a new term expiring December 31st, 2029.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll simply say thank you to former Lake County Administrator Kenny Gottner for his continued service. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution declaring certain county personal property obsolete and no longer needed, to wit 360-degree Faro scanner, and authorizing the donation of said property to Chester Township Police Department for use by the Detective Bureau in accordance with Section 307.12D of the Ohio Revised Code.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $1,620,864.09.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Abstain.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $1,298,734.69.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations to various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes. With the conclusion of resolutions, it's time for departmental reports, starting with utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we had completed our sanitary sewer interconnect between Madison Village and our county wastewater treatment plant. The last step in that process is actually physically diverting the flow from the village wastewater treatment plant to the county treatment plant, and the contractor is mobilizing this week. It will happen as early as tomorrow or sometime early next week. So that'll kind of finalize the deal, the last step to finalize the deal to transfer the operational services of Madison Village to Lake County Department of Utilities for both water and wastewater. We will actually begin billing the Madison Village residents on December 2nd. That's when the agreement will be finalized. We've met with Madison Village recently, and we are all set for that to happen, and look forward to serving Madison Village from here on out.
Thank you. Job and Family Services.
No report, Commissioner.
Our County Administrator, Jason Boyd.
Yes, Commissioners, just a bit off topic, nothing relevant to the county, but we're the smallest county in Ohio, but we have 4 local high schools competing in the state football playoffs tomorrow evening. So I want to wish Mentor, Kirtland, Perry, and Lake Catholic best of luck, as we have 4 really, really high quality high school football teams, and I want to wish those young gentlemen, cheerleaders, coaches, administration luck as they continue their pursuit of a championship.
Hear, hear. Madam Clerk.
Yes, I just wanted to mention, I wanted to thank Mark from Buildings and Grounds for helping to light up the clock tower green this week. And also, for Veterans Day, the county offices are going to be closed Monday, November 11th. And our next commissioner meeting is next Thursday, November 14th. 10
Thank
a.m.
you. And legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you. Then on to old business. Any old business to come before the board? Hearing none. Any new?
Actually, Mr. President, if I may.
You may.
I would like to address the Lake Tran Board Member Donna McNamee's comments here today. Regarding the additional 0.25% sales tax for Lake Tran. The meetings which I have personally attended and or have been monitoring, because you do publish your meetings, it was the clear understanding and expressed purpose that the suspension of the collection of the additional 0.25% would not be at the cost of any services, any facilities, any operation associated with Lake Tran. It was specifically done with the purpose of spending down surplus monies. Lake Tran, to their credit, and I'm going to take some little bit of pride in this, Lake Tran has aggressively, proactively, and effectively sought out grant funding. Grant funding that offsets the need for that 0.25%. A significant amount of cash was accumulating. This was all part of a spend down strategy. The intent was on an annual basis to review the financial needs of the organization and then act to reinstate if needed. At no time, and I think we need to be careful here, at no time was the financial stability of Lake Tran ever put at risk, and at no time was this ever to be an automatic, it just kicks back in again. They, being the board, would have taken affirmative action to keep things suspended. I appreciate your passion. I appreciate your dedication to Lake Tran in general. I appreciate that you served on the committee that sought out the increased tax levy, that you've traveled the nation. To your credit, you are very passionate about this. But you also have a fiduciary responsibility to the people of Lake County. How much is too much? The partnership with Geauga County is proving to be a wise decision and opening up doors for additional funding. It is a tremendous value to our friends in Geauga County. They recently just had a very big rollout. I was unable to attend because I was working with NOACA, and I know some people want to vilify that organization, but NOACA is one of the primary supporters of grant funding to Lake Tran. So we were all, quite frankly, tag teaming a number of things. So I think you can thank Ben Capel for being as assertive as he is. The amount of money that he went out and sought to offset the cost of the facility upgrades. Amazing. I know there was a little bit of a controversy of, wait a minute, why did you go out and ask for that money? Well, doggone it, I kind of see that as his role. But I also see it a role of being fiscally responsible and being a good steward of the people's money. So I would hope that we don't have any revisionist history, and this is just an honest misunderstanding, but a review of funding resources and a review of deliverables need to go hand in glove. Again, I appreciate your passion, but I want to make sure that this record is abundantly clear. So with that, Mr. President, I thank you for letting me address that.
Thank you. Any further old business? Hearing none. Any new business?
Mr. President.
Mr. Commissioner.
I too would like to congratulate and say kudos to the Board of Elections, Dante and Amy and their staff. We had a record number of turnout before the election this year, so we saw a very active lobby the last few weeks. It went seamless. I didn't hear one complaint. When I voted on Tuesday, I had to wait in line. I wasn't used to that. So there's a great turnout on Tuesday morning. When I went, and everyone was trained, everyone was making things as efficient as possible, and so good job to them, and congratulations to the Adams Board for the renewal of their levy too. So
very good. Any further new business? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session for legal imminent litigation. No business will be conducted after this session.
So moved, sir.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletcher.
Yes, we stand adjourned.